She looked at my packed duffel and said, "Don't come. Caleb's clients are going to be there, and you'll make me look like I need a babysitter." I nodded once, sat down at the kitchen table, and started canceling everything I had paid for. Hey friends, please subscribe and turn on notifications, like this video, and leave a comment with your impressions. This will be a great help. Thank you. We never tire of reminding you. It's all thanks to you. I'm 41, and this happened in Boise, Idaho, in late August when the days are still hot, but the evenings finally cool off. I work as a contract compliance analyst for a commercial property management company. My days are lease clauses, vendor invoices, and making sure people don't slide past what they agreed to. I'm not a loud person. I don't do scenes. If something is wrong, I fix it cleanly. My girlfriend at the time was Kelsey, 34. She was a client relations lead for a boutique consulting firm. Kelsey lived in a world of introductions, opportunities, and dinners where everyone pretends they're relaxed while they're actually evaluating each other. She was good at it. She could talk to anyone. She also cared a lot about appearances, but I told myself that was just her job. We'd been together a little over 3 years and rented a 2-bedroom apartment near the river. We had real plans. I had already put down a deposit on a ring at a local jeweler because she wanted a specific setting. We had a signed agreement and deposit for a small event room at a winery for a family dinner in October, the night I planned to propose afterward in private. We also had a moving company hold for November because we were planning to transfer into a nicer place once our lease ended. On top of that, we had started a joint loan pre-approval with my credit union because Kelsey wanted us ready to buy next spring. It wasn't fantasy. It was paperwork and receipts. The mismatch started with little things that were easy to excuse if you wanted to. Kelsey began taking calls on the balcony. She stopped leaving her phone on the counter. It stayed face down at dinner, always within reach. If I walked into the room while she was texting, the screen would go dark quickly. She also started dressing up for days that didn't require it. A quick client check-in became heels and a new blazer. She bought a perfume she hadn't worn in years. When I asked if something was going on, she'd smile and say, "It's just busy season." Then the first clean receipt appeared, and I didn't go looking for it. We had a shared tablet in the kitchen signed into the household email because we used it for bills, confirmations, and rental paperwork. One evening I picked it up to check an electric statement, and a banner notification slid across the top. Reservation confirmed, Sunridge Lodge, 2 nights. The dates were for that coming weekend. We had no weekend trip planned. I tapped the banner because it was already on the screen. The email opened to a lodge reservation confirmation. 2 nights. Late checkout requested. And in the notes section it said, "Arriving Friday evening. Welcome gift requested." The reservation name was Kelsey's. What tightened my stomach was the payment line. The card ending matched my card, the one we used for shared household expenses because I handled most bills and she reimbursed her portion. My card. Her reservation. 2 nights. I closed the email, paid the electric bill, and set the tablet down. I didn't accuse her immediately because I didn't want her to spin it into an argument about my tone. I wanted to see what she would say on her own. When Kelsey got home, I kept my voice normal. "Are you going anywhere this weekend?" I asked. She paused like she had to pick a response. "Why?" "I saw a lodge reservation in the household email," I said. "Sunridge Lodge." Her smile appeared quickly. "Oh, that. It's a client weekend." "A client weekend at a lodge?" I repeated. "It's networking," she said, already walking toward the bedroom. "Don't make it weird. Don't make it weird." That phrase always means, please stop asking questions I can't answer cleanly. Over the next 2 days, her behavior looked less like work and more like anticipation. She got her nails done. She laid out outfits on the bed like she expected photos. She kept checking her phone and smiling at messages she didn't share. Friday night, she started packing. I stood in the doorway and asked, calmly, "Who is going with you?" Kelsey didn't look up. "It's not like that." "That's not an answer," I said. She zipped her bag and finally faced me with irritation already loaded. "You always do this. You make everything a deposition." "I'm asking because it was booked with my card," I replied. "And you didn't tell me." Her jaw tightened. "Fine. Caleb is going." I recognized the name. Caleb was her ex. Not a distant past. She'd mentioned him as someone I used to date who's still around. She said their circles overlap. I didn't love it, but I trusted her to have boundaries. "What does Caleb have to do with your client weekend?" I asked. Kelsey lifted her chin. "He has clients." He can introduce me to people I need. He invited me as his guest. As his guest, I repeated. She rolled her eyes. Stop trying to make it sound romantic. I'm not making it anything, I said. I'm asking why you didn't tell me and why this was charged to my card. That's when she said the line that flipped the switch in me. She glanced at my duffel bag like it was embarrassing and said, "Don't come. Caleb's clients are going to be there, and you'll make me look like I need a babysitter." Babysitter. Like I was a burden, not a partner. I didn't yell. I didn't insult her. I didn't ask for her phone. I just asked, quietly, "Do you hear what you're saying?" Kelsey scoffed. "You're being dramatic. This is about my career." I nodded once. Not agreement. Understanding. "Okay," I said. "Have a safe weekend." She blinked. That's it. That's it," I replied. Her shoulders loosened like she'd won. Good. She went back to packing, already texting someone with a faint smile. I sat down at the kitchen table, opened my laptop, and started doing what I do when risk becomes clear. I removed my name from exposure and documented every step. First, the ring deposit. I searched my email for the jeweler and found the receipt. Subject: deposit confirmation, custom setting, order BOI, 7714. The policy stated the deposit was refundable within 10 business days if production hadn't begun. Production began only after final design approval. We hadn't approved anything because Kelsey kept postponing the appointment. We were on day 9. I called the jeweler at opening Saturday morning. "Foothill Jewelers, this is Dana." "Hi," I said. "I need to cancel an order and request the deposit refund. Order BOI, 7714. Dana verified my name and asked whether final approval had been signed. I told her the truth. "No." "All right," she said. "We can cancel and initiate the refund today. It returns to the original card within 5 to 7 business days. I'll email confirmation." The email arrived while I was still on the phone. Subject: cancellation confirmed. Refund initiated. BOI, 7714. Receipt number 1. Second, the winery event room deposit for the October family dinner. We had a signed agreement with a small winery for a private room and a set menu. The cancellation clause stated full refund if canceled more than 30 days out, minus a small administrative fee. We were still within the window. I emailed them. Subject: cancellation request, private room reservation, October 12th. I included the booking number and asked for written confirmation and refund timeline. They replied within an hour. Subject: reservation canceled. Refund processing, 7 to 10 business days. Receipt number 2. Third, the moving company hold. We had paid a holding deposit to reserve a November move date. Their policy allowed cancellation more than 10 days out with a credit back to the card minus a scheduling fee with written confirmation. I called, canceled, and requested the confirmation. Subject: move hold canceled. Credit issued. Order MV 3098. Receipt number 3. Fourth, the joint loan pre-approval. The loan officer had asked for one more authorization signature and updated employment verification. My documents were already on file. My credit was already involved. I wasn't continuing that path with someone who wanted me hidden. I emailed the loan officer. Subject: pause joint pre-approval immediately. Please pause the joint application. No further action or credit activity without my written authorization. They replied quickly. Subject: application paused. Confirmed no further action. Receipt number 4. Then I handled shared finances responsibly. We had a joint savings account labeled House. I didn't drain it. I paused my automatic transfer and took screenshots of the balance and transaction history for my records. Then I emailed Kelsey from my personal email, so it was timestamped. Subject: shared savings contributions. I paused my automatic contributions today. We can reconcile and split the balance fairly after refunds and shared bills are finalized. Short, calm, written. Now the lease. Our apartment lease had 4 months left. Both names. Renewal wasn't signed yet. The lease had a tenant release process requiring management approval and the remaining tenant qualifying a loan or adding a replacement. Until then, both tenants remained liable. I emailed the property manager. Subject: tenant release process / non-renewal notice. I requested the release paperwork and confirmed I would not sign a renewal under my name. They replied with a form and the standard language. Approval required. Both tenants remain liable until processed. Receipt number 5. By Saturday afternoon, the paper trail was clean. Now I needed a clean exit. I found a month-to-month furnished studio through a local housing service used by traveling nurses. Deposit paid. Agreement in my name only. I chose a place across town because distance helps boundaries stick. Then I packed. I packed only what was clearly mine. Clothes, personal documents, work equipment, tools, items I owned before we lived together. I left shared furniture. I left dishes and decor. I didn't want an argument about objects. Before I left, I took photos of the apartment condition, floors, walls, appliances, every room, because deposit disputes turn emotional fast. Photos keep it honest. On the kitchen counter, I left a note. Kelsey, I moved out today. I will pay my share of rent through the end of the current lease term unless management approves a tenant release. I will not renew. Please communicate by email for logistics. No insults. No speeches. Just facts. Kelsey left Sunday morning for the lodge weekend. At the door, she said, "Don't make this messy." "I won't," I replied. And I meant it. She came back Monday night. My phone lit up with calls. I let them go to voicemail. Then texts. "What is this note? Where are you? You can't just leave." Then an email. Subject, "Answer me." I replied once, calmly, because written records protect you. Subject, "Answer me." I moved out. I'm not continuing the relationship. Lease and financial logistics can be handled by email. That was the first confrontation. The second came 2 days later when she showed up outside my workplace parking lot. She stepped toward me fast, eyes bright with anger. "You actually left," she said. "Yes," I replied. "Over a client weekend," she snapped. Minimization. "It wasn't the weekend," I said. "It was what you said. You told me not to come because I'd make you look like you needed a babysitter." Kelsey scoffed. I was stressed. I used the wrong words. Blame came next. "You always take things personally. You don't understand my career." I kept my voice steady. "Respect isn't optional because you're stressed." Then insults. "You're rigid. You treat everything like a contract. You don't know how to support me." I didn't bite. "If it's practical, put it in writing," I said. Her face shifted and tears appeared quickly. "I didn't think you'd actually do it," she whispered. "Caleb didn't even. The weekend wasn't what I thought." She stopped mid-sentence. I didn't ask for details. I didn't need them. The foundation was already gone. "I hope you take care of yourself," I said. "This doesn't continue." She stared like she wanted a fight to keep us connected. I didn't give her one. "I'm going inside," I said. "Please don't come here again." After that, she tried at least 3 contact attempts. First, an unknown number called late at night. The voicemail was her voice, softer now, saying she was scared and needed to talk. I blocked the number. Second, she emailed. Subject, "I messed up." It was long, trying to rewrite her words, claiming Caleb was just a connection, claiming I overreacted. I didn't debate. I set a filter routing her messages into a folder labeled Kelsey, Records. Third, she sent an intermediary. A mutual friend messaged me saying Kelsey was not doing well and asking if I could just meet her once. I replied politely, "Please don't get involved," and ended it. Quiet karma arrived without my help. 5 business days after my call, the ring deposit refund hit my bank exactly as the jeweler promised. The winery deposit refunded next, minus the administrative fee. The moving company credit posted. I saved each confirmation email and bank notification because clean exits stay clean with documentation. Kelsey's reality tightened fast. Property management emailed both of us about the tenant release. Subject, tenant release, income verification required. Kelsey tried to keep the apartment alone. Her salary was solid, but part of her compensation was performance bonuses. Without my income, management required a higher deposit or a cosigner. She didn't want to pay it. She emailed me asking if I would just stay on the lease until she stabilized. I refused in writing and reminded her I would pay my share through the current lease term, but I would not extend obligations. Then the social embarrassment arrived, the thing she was trying to avoid by hiding me. She posted a photo from the lodge weekend. Name badge visible. Someone commented asking if she was back with Caleb. Someone asked where I was. The post disappeared within a day. A mutual acquaintance later told me Caleb introduced Kelsey around when it benefited him and then spent the weekend attached to someone else's circle. She came home with bruised pride and fewer opportunities than she expected. By spring, she moved into a smaller place with a roommate because she couldn't keep the apartment alone without stress. That wasn't revenge. That was math. As for me, I stayed quiet and rebuilt. I paid my portion through the lease end. I transferred utilities out of my name when move-out was confirmed. I kept my routines: work, sleep, simple meals, long walks along the river. About 5 months later, in February, I was doing fine. I stopped at a community center on a Saturday morning for a basic safety course my company sponsors. Folding chairs, clipboards, coffee and paper cups. I was filling out a form when I heard my name. Calvin. I looked up and saw Kelsey. She looked different, less polished, more tired, like reality had taken the shine off the weekend fantasy. She approached slowly. Can we talk? I can listen briefly, I replied, but I'm not restarting anything. Her eyes filled. I'm sorry, she said. I wanted to look important. I wanted to look like I had options. And I treated you like something to hide. I nodded once. That's what happened. She swallowed. I didn't think you'd leave. I believed what you said, I replied. And I chose peace. She looked down, then back up. Is there any chance? I shook my head once. No, I'm not angry. I'm finished. If someone told you to stay home so they could look single for a weekend, what would you do? Tell me in the comments.